Berkshire may have lent out stock to short sellers. Analysts, the position has swelled to over $8 billion from $230 million. What is Warren Buffett planning about Berkshire Hathaway Inc's $8 billion stake in BYD Co? More than a week after a BYD stake the size of Berkshire's surfaced in Hong Kong's stock market clearing system, the issue is still revolving around trading desks. Initially, traders believed Buffett was getting ready to sell his shares in the rapidly growing Chinese electric vehicle company, but now they're not so sure. Other speculations are starting to circulate because there are no obvious indications that Buffett has left BYD. Perhaps the 91-year-old millionaire is lending shares to short sellers to earn additional money, or perhaps he just wants to observe how the market will react to his potential sale. Maybe there's another back-office rationale, completely unrelated to Buffett's stock strategy. When asked about his plans, the Oracle of Omaha has remained notoriously mum, and several inquiries to Berkshire and BYD personnel have gone unanswered. The result for the time being is that BYD stock is floundering. It's down roughly 6% since initial rumors of a Berkshire exit, despite the automaker's claims that its net income likely increased by as much as 207% in the first half. The benchmark Hang Seng Index for Hong Kong has decreased by 2% throughout that time. Despite all the hypotheses, many believe it's difficult to make a clear decision on this, said Daisy Lai, fund manager at EFG Asset Management, HK Limited. On July 11, the disputed stake showed up in Hong Kong's stock clearing system under a Citibank account. Because shares must reach the clearing system before they can change hands, this fueled rumors that Berkshire may be selling. There hasn't been a major change in the number of shares in the Citibank account to date, and there haven't been any regulatory filings that would indicate Berkshire has decreased its holding. Exchange regulations provide that once shares are sent into the clearing system, there is no time limit on when a deal must be executed. According to Kenny Wen, head of investment research at KGI Asia in Hong Kong, some market observers have hypothesized that the stake may have entered the system because it is being made available for lending to short sellers. Wen noted that it's not obvious whether there would be a sufficient amount of demand from short sellers to support this action. Even while BYD's short interest was almost at its highest level in 2 months as of Tuesday, IHS market data revealed that it still only represented 1.3% of the free-floating shares in Hong Kong. That is a significant decrease from the all-time high of almost 20% in 2010. Future sale. According to some experts, Berkshire is still most certainly preparing the basis for its withdrawal from BYD. After all, Buffett started investing in the automobile in 2008 with $230 million, and as of Thursday's end, his stake had grown to nearly $8 billion. He could desire to cash out for a variety of reasons. Despite being the third most valuable automaker in the world, BYD only earned a $472 million profit in 2021. That is almost 1/12 of Tesla's. Furthermore, compared to Tesla's 12% operating margin, BYD operating margin of 3.3% is low. According to reports, BYD is also under investigation in connection with claims of contamination at one of its plants. We think it is more likely that Buffett is thinking on selling BYD shares, said Andy Wund, fund manager at LW Asset Management Advisors Limited. We don't think there is need for them to lend the shares for shorting purpose to earn interest. That is also not their trading style. Top holders. Buffett will have to promptly notify the sale of his interest if he decides to do so. According to Hong Kong laws, whenever a trade changes the proportion of a stake in a company into the next whole number, the shareholder who owns more than 5% of a listed company must inform the stock exchange within 3 business days after starting the deal. That would prevent the uproar that occurred when Buffett informed the stock exchange 2 weeks after selling his PetroChina Co stakes in 2007. This sale was declared by postal mail, which is no longer permitted, and involved at least 7 transactions spread over nearly 3 months. For now, speculation about Berkshire's exit may continue to dog BYD shares. While we await further clarification, we do not rule out the possibility that Buffett's firm is selling, Dawa Securities Group Inc. analyst Kelvin Lau wrote in a note last week. Berkshire Hathaway could be cautious on the overall economic outlook for the next few years, together with a likely slower growth for new energy vehicles or autos. More about BYD. We are learning more about the BYD company, which is situated in Shenzhen and stands for Build Your Dreams, while we struggle to understand China's political system. When Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway invested $231 million for a 10% investment in it in September 2008, it emerged from relative obscurity. Buffett and BYD. Buffett has already generated a $1 billion profit on his investment in BYD, while also investing in the global adoption of sustainable energy and China's economic growth. The acquisition was considered unusual for Buffett, who normally does not invest in new, disruptive technology such as electric automobiles. He also avoids investing in technology about which he is unfamiliar. But it takes a unique individual to gain a dominant market share in batteries and automobiles in such a short period of time. Buffett spent as much in Wang Chuanfu as the firm did. How did Chuanfu turn BYD into a low-cost battery producer? He took advantage of China's low-cost labor rather than investing in expensive robotic manufacturing. He spent far more on R&D than other Chinese manufacturers, improving products and modifying the manufacturing process. He's also been able to attract leading scientists because of an emphasis on great benefits: free housing, food, health insurance, and access to free education for their children. Chuanfu has been compared to Thomas Edison and Jack Welch, and like Henry Ford, he is an excellent entrepreneur, as well as a talented engineer and scientist. After financing $300,000 from family, he founded BYD to compete with Sony and Sanyo in the manufacture of rechargeable batteries. Buffett was pleased that Chuanfu would only sell him 10% of the firm. He desired 25%. Buffett believes that in 20 years, all automobiles will be electric, and BYD has a genuine chance of being one of the leading producers of EV battery technology and EV. The most significant gain, though, may be access to BYD energy storage technology. Mid-American Energy Holdings, MDPWK, Buffett's utility, purchased BYD stock and has already begun using the company's energy storage technology in Oregon. BYD was a top stock market performance in 2009, with its shares rising 439%. This year, the business plans a $100 million IPO on the Shenzhen exchange. That's all we've got for you today. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments down below. If you liked and found today's video fascinating, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to be up to date with the most exciting things as soon as it's released. Thank you for your time. See you in another video shortly.